Here's a tool that I use a lot. This is a spark plug wire terminal crimping tool. This is an LY-2048. A lot of people say that when you read the reviews on this, that it will not crimp 7mm wires, but it actually does a really pretty job crimping 7mm, 8mm, and 8.5mm spark plug wires. I like to do my own mainly because I've seen some aftermarket kits that they aren't making a good connection. I had to go in there and kind of clean them up a little bit, but this is a 7mm crimp right here that I did myself. But this tool will crimp, it will cut 7mm, and it will crimp 7mm terminals. For anybody interested, like I say, if you like to make your own spark plug wires. But it has a it cuts. It'll bend the terminal in so it fits better in the crimping part of the tool, and it'll also cut the wire and strip the insulation off the core without biting into the inner core. So yeah, I'll just go ahead and crimp this. I know this is a little bit long. I'm just trying to show people if you're interested in doing this kind of stuff. But this crimps really nicely. You can just take the end, the tip, and kind of bend the blades in a little bit, and then you can just put this down in the bottom crimping part of the tool, and I'll show you. It makes a really nice, beautiful crimp. It's a ratcheting type, and it makes a really good connection. And again, this is a 7mm. This is a 7mm wire. Let's see here. This 7mm high temp wire right here. So, and the tool is actually designed for 8mm and 8.5mm wires, so you can see just by this particular crimp here what a nice job it would do on 8mm wires. But again, this is a this is an LY-2048 crimping tool. You can find them. They're made by different manufacturers under a different brand name, but they're all the same. They're all made by the same tool and die company. So a lot of guys say they didn't like you have to stick your finger up in here to open them up, but actually you don't. What you do is you just squeeze them all the way and then they open up. A lot of people get confused about that. But and here's an MSD that I use a lot also. You put this in a vise and squeeze it together. Just put your wire in there. It's got the curled in. Cut this wire off. It has a 8mm, 8.5mm opening that you can put in there. Use a razor blade right here and just turn the wire and cut the wire. But sometimes I found you can actually nick into the core, so that can cause a problem. Then you've got an 8mm, 8.5mm. But this is a nice tool also, made by MSD. Nothing wrong with MSD parts. But this is my go-to. This is the one I use a lot. I've made all the wires on the car, not once but a couple of times, using this tool. And the car actually runs a lot better. I might cut the wires to length. It runs really nice. So, but I'm getting ready to rebuild all the spark plug wires on this. This is the 75 Stingray. I'm getting ready to rebuild all the wires. Some of these are way too long. I'm getting a lot of whine in the car. This one's way too long. It's probably a foot too long on the number 2 cylinder. But I'm getting a lot of whine in the radio, the stereo, when I'm driving down the road. So I'm going to rebuild all these wires. Getting ready to do that as soon as the weather warms up a little bit.